This is Nic Belpedio, and you're listening to Off the Ice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Off the Ice Season 3, Episode 3. I'm Brody Kaiser, the voice of Ferris State Hockey. This is Tatum Outlaw, and we are excited to be back with you as we are fast approaching the hockey season. We talk about it every week, I know, but there's just so much excitement around this program right now, and from our perspective, each week just seems like we're an inch closer, and that brings a ton of excitement for Bulldog hockey.
For sure, and especially hearing the guys speak about how the process is going, how it's been so far at Ferris, because we've had the transfers on so far. It's really getting me excited. I know we've been excited since they even announced the new coach, but as we've been having guests on each week and them just talking about how that's going and how they're feeling for their games coming up, it's really getting me excited.
Off the Ice is brought to you by Fox Motors of Cadillac in Fox Reed City, the official car dealer of Ferris State Athletics. Thanks to Fox for their support of not only Off the Ice, but also Ferris State Hockey. Thanks to all of you for tuning in and supporting the episodes as well. You can catch the releases on Sunny 97.3 Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Check out Midco Sports Plus for the video version, along with Ferris Athletics on YouTube and Spotify Wednesday mornings. And Tatum, that just means there's a lot of ways to watch the show. And that's great because we're trying to build excitement as well for this team before they come into the season.
For sure. No excuses to not watch with all these options. So.
And you've got Behind the Bulldogs going on right now, which is going awesome now that fall sports have started up. Your season is in full swing. You guys are coming off a good trip from Colorado. So definitely a lot of good things going on in Bulldog athletics.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you keep in touch with everything going on.
Without further ado, let's take you off the ice with Nic Belpedio. We're back, everybody. Off the Ice, presented by Fox Motors of Cadillac in Fox Reed City. Brody Kaiser and Tatum Outlaw with you. And on today's show, we are joined by Ferris State Hockey graduate defenseman number 9, Nic Belpedio. Nic, thanks for being on the show with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You chuckled a little at the graduate. Is that still sinking in for you?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm one of maybe 10 in college, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that comes with a lot of experience, obviously, and just a short time so far in Big Rapids, but bringing all those years of college experience from Colgate over to this Ferris State team, what are some of those traits that you have as a veteran guy in college hockey?
Kind of just been through a lot. Got to win a championship my sophomore year, so that was extremely fortunate to be a part of that group and trying to bring some of those themes from that team over to this team to help us pursue our ultimate goal of winning the CCHA this year. So.
Yeah, what is the experience like of playing not only in those high leverage situations for a championship, but also just in all situations throughout your career in Colgate? How does that refine you as a player and make you prepared for anything you're going to see?
I would say it prepares me in the aspect that, I could play any position in terms of penalty kill, power play, third pair, first pair. And I guess that kind of just helps the team moving forward because no matter where coach needs me in the lineup, I'll be able to perform regardless of my role. So
yeah, absolutely. And coming into this Ferris State team, one of the best transfer classes in the country, but you don't get that way without having a lot of new guys on this roster. So what have you seen from some of the other transfers in terms of how you guys have been trying to build that team chemistry early on?
Yeah, Josh Zari has been huge. Obviously, he was with Coach Riley at LIU, and he kind of has stepped up and helped us adjust to the way Coach Riley has wanted to do things. And the rest of the transfers have been awesome as well, bringing in cultures from their different schools. And it's just been a really smooth process so far, despite the fact that there's 13 new guys and a new coach, new strength coach. It's been really relatively good. So
yeah, perfect. One more question for me, and then I'll throw it over to Tatum. Coach Riley, your first interaction with him in terms of being your head coach, what have you noticed from him, the intensity, the energy? How do you respond to that as a player?
Yeah, he's obviously a really intense person, and his energy is always very high. And as a player, that's something that makes me excited because it pushes me to show up every day and bring the same intensity and energy. So we see it in practice. They're really intense out there, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of a group like this. So
certainly fun. And I know we are extremely excited to see the product on the ice in just a couple of weeks. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm super excited as well. We're always talking about it every episode, but Brody kind of touched on it. You're a veteran. Although this is like your first year in the program, you do have a lot of experience under your belt. So how do you bring like some leadership into the team and like take some of the younger guys under your belt?
Yeah, absolutely. As an older guy, just for the defenseman, at least trying to help them with small details that go a long way in the game. And then, off the ice, whether it's having guys like Chris Lee or Marty over for dinner just to help them out and get adjusted. Obviously, they're sophomores here, but Norway's so far away from America. So just being really supportive over those two, especially.
Yeah, you mentioned Norway. So that was going to be my next question. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? And how'd you get into hockey?
I'm from Skokie, Illinois. It's about 20 minutes north of Chicago. And then I got into hockey because my brother, he plays. I'm fortunate to have a really good relationship with him, and he just signed 2 years with the Capitals in the NHL. So he's been a role model for me, and he's kind of really helped me out as a hockey player and as a person to get to this point.
Nice. And what was like the transfer process like for you? For some people, it can be very difficult. Some people, it's super easy. I feel like the transfer portal for every sport these days is it's so chaotic. So just tell us about that process for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting process, and I kind of felt like, I was 18 again, being recruited by different schools, and ultimately Coach Riley was a guy that I felt brought a lot of traits that I was interested in playing for. So it was a pretty easy decision, honestly, and I'm really excited to be here and grateful for the opportunity. So
cool.
Yeah, Ferris, certainly ecstatic to have you. You bring that leadership, you bring that playing experience, which is something this team needs as a squad that, expects and hopes to compete for a conference championship, like you said. So definitely excited to see the product on the ice. And I can't, a couple of weeks now, the days are counting down.
Yeah.
But anyways, family-wise, brother playing in the NHL, did you guys have some healthy competition when you were growing up in terms of, playing hockey? You're a few years younger than him, obviously, but, just growing up playing hockey against each other, what was that like?
Yeah, we always spend a lot of time together over summer, and even today, like when he was with the Flyers, I used to go out there once a summer to skate with him, and we would get into each other a little bit, despite him being 6 years older than me. Like, I handle my own, but he definitely gets the better of me most of the time. And then growing up, we were super, super competitive. We did everything together, and he's kind of really helped me, and he continues to push me today, which is great.
How old were you when you first picked up a hockey stick, or maybe knew that hockey was the game you were going to pursue?
I actually played football and baseball until I was probably 12 or 13, but I kind of knew that I liked hockey a lot more from a younger age. And the first time I picked up a hockey stick, I was probably 3 or 4 years old. Wow. Kind of was running around the rinks, obviously with my buddies, watching my brother play. So it's kind of a huge thing in my family, I guess, to say the least.
Yeah, so, I mean, sports seem like they were a big part of your life. You played 3 sports growing up. Which was the sport you would say you were the best at? Was it hockey, or were you actually better at one of those other sports?
No, I was actually a better football player. I played 2 years up. I was a running back and a linebacker. Sometimes I wish I pursued football, but hockey I ended up going with. I love football, though. You have a huge passion for it. So
Yeah. I mean, being from Chicago, are you a Bears fan? Or
don't get me started, please. DeMar and Isaac got in my ear yesterday and today already about them losing to Detroit. So
yeah, I can imagine as a Bears fan that was probably a little rough. But
I mean, this is a good school to go to if you're a big football fan too.
That's true.
So.
That's true.
Football team's awesome here.
Yeah,
sure is. See. Volleyball team's pretty good too.
I've heard they're decent.
We got a lot of good sports here, and which just makes the environment great. And what have you noticed from hanging out with those other athletes and all the success that drives through Ferris Athletics?
It's been awesome. I mean, I think it was 2 weeks ago we did call it the Beast. It's a workout with the basketball squad, the women's squad, and it was like we were really pushing each other, and it was a really competitive environment. Like we were trying to beat their team, and they were trying to beat our team. It was, I think, 6 different exercises with weights, and then you had to run a lap around the whole facility 4 times. So it was high pace, intensity, and it was really competitive. But it's been awesome. It seems like the athletes here really, it's like a family, and we work together to push each other to ultimately win, which is great.
Yeah, Tatum, I know you've spoke about that so many times as one of the big positives for being an athlete at Ferris State.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think all the sports teams push each other, but they're also supportive too. And I think that's funny that you guys were like, because sometimes there's overlap in the weight room, but like I'm not surprised that you guys had to compete against each other. So that's funny. I always ask this every episode. If there's a sport that you could play in college, like be the best at it, a sport you haven't played before, which would it be? Like just one you've wanted to try and be really good at.
I love golf, so I honestly wish I was an elite golfer in college. I think that would be such a good time. Nice weather, pretty relaxing out there from time to time, I guess, but also could be really high pressure. So I don't know. I would enjoy that, I think. And then obviously I think being a college football player would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Have you had much time to go to the golf course here besides, I guess you guys had a golf outing. I'm not sure if you went to that.
Yeah. Actually, I don't play too often, kind of get tired. So, but a lot of the guys go pretty frequently. I've probably been 4 or 5 times now though.
Nice.
How would you rate your golf game on a scale of like 10 being that level of college player versus 0 of never holding a golf club before?
Like, I'm probably at like a 5.
That's pretty generous actually. That's a good golfer.
It's inconsistent, but I can hit the ball pretty good. And when I play more frequently, like my game's a lot better. So
yeah, sure. What's the best part of your game? Are you good around the green? Are you better off the tee? What would you say is like your strength?
I'd probably say like the mid irons. So like 7 iron to pitching wedge is probably my best area. Driver is kind of inconsistent. Putting's some days it's on, other days it's not. So
that's just golf, man. That's so frustrating how that works, right?
There's a reason I don't touch golf clubs. So, and I worked at a golf course. So what do you like to do in your free time when you're not studying or playing hockey?
I actually have a huge passion for cooking. So been spending a lot of time cooking, probably 2 or 3 times a day here, which has been fun. Obviously school's all online for me. So there's a lot of time to kind of cook things up for the guys. And the other day I made chicken parm. It was really good. So I enjoy that. Definitely enjoy golfing. Definitely play a little bit of Xbox too. So
what's your specialty in the kitchen?
Probably anything Italian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you cook for your teammates a lot?
I try to. I definitely, I think I turned some heads. There were some Snapchats being sent in the group chat of me cooking, and I looked like a 5-star chef. So I think there's going to be some guys asking me to cook for them here within the next few weeks. So.
I can imagine that.
I'm sure Marty and Chris have really enjoyed you cooking for them, because I know it was a big thing last year where they like to have dinner with some of the other guys and then they would do the dishes. So do they clean up for you, or do they just take your food and then leave?
Actually, with Marty and Chris, we normally just go out to eat.
Okay.
But I think Chris is on my schedule here coming up in the next few weeks. He's been asking me to cook for him. So I'm going to do that here, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely report back on how their dishes duty is. I think it was more Marty that was the one not doing the dishes, but let us know how the Norwegians are with cleaning up for you.
Yeah, I will for sure.
You said you play Xbox. What's your big game?
Fortnite.
Fortnite, okay.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Did that take off, during the COVID years when the game really exploded, or did you get into it more recently?
I was actually before COVID.
So you're one of the OGs.
I was an OG player on the Fortnite. Played it probably every day during COVID with my brother, which is really fun. And then kind of started picking it up here over the last year again. So try to play probably a couple times a week.
There you go. And I would imagine that's a good way for you and your brother to just stay connected, is hop in a party and talk for a little bit while you're playing some games.
Yeah, absolutely. That's typically what we do. So
yeah. Awesome.
It's a good way to just relax and unwind, especially as a college athlete, you're just so busy. You need those those days where you can just relax and let the world kind of dissipate around you. So it's a good hobby to have.
For sure.
What else do you like to do? TV, movies? You big action guy? What's the genre you go to for the TV?
For movies, I typically like to watch Christopher Nolan movies. I'm a big fan of his mind games in the movies, trying to figure it out in advance. And then on Sundays, just typically watch the NFL. John Lundy's a big baseball fan. He's my roommate, and there's baseball on every night. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but starting to get into it slowly, so that's good.
So he forced you to become is he a Mets or a Yankees fan?
I don't really know. His cousin was on the Yankees for a bit, and now he's on the Padres, but I think he's still a Yankees fan deep down. Yeah.
He's trying to convert you into a baseball fan, huh?
Yeah, it's not working too well, but maybe we'll get there.
Yeah. You guys watch a lot of hockey during the season?
Yeah, I typically try to watch a period or two a night.
Yeah.
I think it's just good to watch and keep up with some of my friends that are playing. So
yeah, definitely.
I always ask this question because I'm curious, and I think some people have the funniest answers. Do you have any like pregame like superstitions, or even if it's just like a routine, like what do you have to do before a game?
Yeah, so I listen to the same. It's either depending on the night. Like there's one song I typically listen to like as I'm walking into the rink. And then I guess another one would be like I'm huge on like fruit snacks in between periods.
We are too. We go through so many fruit snacks.
Yeah, I don't know if that's as much of like a superstition. Maybe I just love fruit snacks, but
it's a good energy boost, I think. I don't know.
But
what's the song?
Sorry for the Wait by Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of them. And then the other one is Otis by Jay-Z.
Okay, I'll have to try it out and let you know how the game goes.
What was the tradition you had to try out last week that we were talking about with Rups? I can't remember what he said.
Something with food?
Yeah.
I didn't try it out.
Okay, we'll have to get back into it.
I forgot.
So fruit snacks is the big thing.
Yeah, fruit snacks. Like in between every period before off ice warm ups. Yeah, like probably like 5 packs.
We go through a lot of fruit snacks too because we have like snacks at practice and games just to like if we need a quick energy boost. But I think we just like eat them because we like fruit snacks. I don't really know if we need that much of an energy boost.
I think it's a lot of sugar. I don't know how good it's doing for me out there.
What kind of fruit snacks?
The Mott's ones.
Oh, we're on Welch's, so it's not.
Yeah, those ones are all right.
Yeah.
I mean, fruit snacks are just so good, though.
I know. The pack's too small. It's just too small.
Yeah, it's kind of like Gushers, right? Gushers are everyone's favorite.
Gushers are dangerous because I could probably finish like a whole box.
Oh, for sure. But the little bags, they have like 6 Gushers in them now.
I know.
Like, it's crazy.
Not fair.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I haven't had those in a while, but those are good too.
Yeah. Those are really good. I don't know how much during a game those would help you out, but
maybe get you like too hyper. It's too much sugar.
Yeah. What other things do you guys like to do as a team? You know, I know in the past guys have been big pickleball players or card games. Anything else that you try to do as team bonding stuff when you're just hanging out?
Yeah, me and Haru love to play cards, so we do that pretty frequently. I have not got onto the tennis court yet, but there's been some friendly tennis matches going on. Before practice, guys play basketball a lot, which is pretty fun. Other than that, a couple NHL like video game tournaments that's been happening probably almost every night, which is pretty fun. There's good banter in the Oakwood townhomes because of that. So,
have you hopped onto the euchre wave yet?
No, I don't like euchre.
I'm from Illinois as well, and I got here and I was like, why is everyone playing euchre so much? Like I didn't get it, but it's totally a thing here.
Yeah,
it's a huge
like
thing.
A Wisconsin and Michigan thing. Right?
Pretty much, yeah. So it's just you don't like it?
No, I don't really understand it, nor do I like it that much.
Gotcha.
I could agree.
I mean, that's fair. It's as someone who's lived in Michigan their whole life. I grew up playing euchre, so it just makes sense to me. But when it is hard to pick it up because there's so many just weird rules. But
for sure,
it is one of those things that's kind of a state specific type of game.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
So those NHL tournaments, who's the guy to beat? Like who's the one that typically runs the table?
Probably Schlepp, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player. I think Connor McGrath is also a really good player. Me and Wade have been going back and forth now. I think he's got me in the series like 7-2. So I got to steal a few back from him. Or
you got to start a Fortnite tournament.
Yeah, maybe that's the answer.
That's the answer.
That might be the answer to it.
That is definitely the answer. How often do you get to go back home? I mean, with Illinois being just a few hours away, is that a trip that you anticipate being able to make a few times throughout the season, or is it more your parents are going to come up here and see you?
Kind of. I think it'll just depend on the weather, honestly. Like if there's like if I know we have like 2 days off and I haven't seen my parents in a little bit, maybe I'll make that trip back. But that drive around the lake can be pretty tough with the snow.
Definitely.
So maybe I'll make it home once or twice the rest of the year. But if not, my parents will come up here. So
yeah, for sure. What's your transition been like coming from Colgate to Big Rapids? You know, really really small town, different environment. Just that move for you. What's that been like?
So this is actually like a city compared to Colgate, if you can imagine that. Yeah, Colgate had 3,000 kids there.
Okay.
There was probably about 4 restaurants in the town. I loved it there. In juniors, I played in small towns, so I was kind of used to it. And this has been different for sure. Like there wasn't like a Walmart or a Meijer or like anything really like that close by. So I feel fortunate kind of.
Yeah, that it's different in in the sense that Big Rapids is bigger. I would not have expected that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. Colgate's like middle of nowhere in upstate New York. It's 45 minutes from Syracuse. So it was really pretty there, though. There was like kind of mountains, waterfalls, rivers. It was a good time, similar to here in terms of the terrain. So
Sure.
Wow, I think that's the first person I've heard say Big Rapids is like a city.
Yeah.
Because I think most people typically struggle here just because it is a lot smaller and there's just less resources than what they're used to. So that's nice that I guess this is a little bit more of a luxury for you then.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. Like there was no Starbucks, which I'm a Starbucks fan, so it's nice that there's a Starbucks here. But like we didn't have any like really fast food restaurants or anything like that there. So
Yeah.
it's definitely different here, better.
Yeah, I know you're a grad student. What are you studying?
Business administration.
Me too. If we're in any of the same classes then.
Yeah, I think we actually might be.
Really?
Yeah, I think one of them. I
Good
don't
to
know
know.
which one it was, but
It's definitely a nice thing to be fully online. I know, Tatum, you've talked about this.
Yeah.
Just with, being so busy all the time as an athlete. When you get to grad school, you're thinking, oh man, it's going to be even worse. But then you get the online program and you can kind of go at your own pace. And as an athlete, you're good with time management. So I assume that that's been a good experience for you as well early on.
yeah, no, it's been really good for me. From at Colgate, you couldn't skip class at Colgate, otherwise it really affected your grade. So I was pretty used to showing up to class every single day for minimum 3 hours a day. So it's definitely been an adjustment for me actually going to online school, if that makes any sense. But I've been pretty on top of it here to start. So hopefully I'll keep that going through the rest of the year and continue to do well with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's just about all the time that we have. But before we let you go, one question that I like to ask every guy who comes on the show: what does it mean to you to be a Bulldog?
Ultimately, I'm just really excited to be here and excited to help put Ferris State hockey back on the map and do big things this year. So,
Yeah, I mean, it just really feels like there's so much energy from the locker room. The guys are all bought in. They're excited to get out on the ice, which is the same every year. But, when you have this many new guys and a new coaching staff, it's just nice to see that the players have really appreciated, the energy and the atmosphere of getting ready for the start of this season. So definitely excited to see you guys get out there.
yeah, no, absolutely, Sam. Cannot wait for our first game against Miami, and I think we're gonna have a really strong season this year. So
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Nick, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck this year and go Dogs.
yeah, go Dogs. Thank you.
We'll be back next week, everyone, with more Off the Ice.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Off the Ice. Make sure you guys check us out on social media. Off the Ice is brought to you by Fox Motors of Cadillac and Fox Reed City. Driven to serve, proud to support Ferris State Athletics.